Hi there, welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you are new here. If this is your first visit, welcome here. It is Sunday evening, 19th of September. You can see my rabbit Floyd in the background here, in the gate of his cage, peeking out. This is my bunny. He's a lion head bunny. His name is Floyd. We've had him about 2 years. So as much as you guys all know me as the bird lady, we also have had rabbits over the years. Sometimes we've had two at a time. Right now he's the only one we've got. And he's a good boy. He's much quieter than all the birds. I'm just going to fold a load of laundry. I had to rewash a load of delicates that I washed the other day because I never quite got to them, and so they sat in the washer for 2 days, and I had to rewash them today. So, I mean, they didn't smell bad, but, I mean, you know, if they sat a couple of days, they need to be redone. So I would load in the dryer that I need to fold right now, and then I will... What I typically do with delicates is I dry them for about 10-15 minutes on low, and then I hang them in the bathroom stall to dry overnight. And I've got a couple of loads of laundry sorted on the floor. I know I have my camera aimed up a little higher so my head isn't cut off this time, so you probably don't see the laundry on the floor. And there's a little bit more in the hamper that I have to add to these loads. I have a load of whites in the corner. Sometimes I put my colors and my darks together to make one big load, but I think I'm going to have, well, these won't be full, like huge loads of either color, but whichever. I've got a load of darks and a load of light colors beside it, and the whites over there, and I've got two red things, just two, and that, I'm probably not going to wash those right away because I have a couple red t-shirts. If I end up wearing one of those in the next few days, I'll add that to that load. Reds, sometimes I will add to a dark load, just because, you know, if they were going to run, it's just going to run into black stuff. It won't hurt anything. But typically, if I have enough red things to make a difference, then I will just do a load of reds. I definitely wouldn't put them as my light colors because they are, you know, if they run, they're going to make, like, you know, light colors, like light blue shirts, you know, into like a purple or something. I'm not going to do that. If I mix them with anything, it might be with darks or blacks. But chances are, if I get a couple more red things the next few days, I'll just make a small load of reds. But the biggest ones right now are to do the blacks or darks and the light colors and the whites. I'm not going to get it all done tonight because it's 10:38 already. As long as I get this load folded, that will be a good start. And this is a load that is a mix. It has darks and light colors, and I believe some towels in it and everything. Whole big thing. So this is just you guys keeping me company while I fold a load of laundry and switch laundry over. I don't know if I'll stay up late enough. Like, I'll start once I get the delicates in the dryer, I can start another load in the washer. But I don't know if I will have the washer start or have it on delay start and have it start in the morning. Because I don't know if I want to stay up so late tonight as to have to switch a washer load over yet tonight to the dryer. Stepped on something wet on the floor, and I realized that's because my daughter put her mat from her floor down here and it's wet. She spilled pop on it. That's why it's wet, and that's why it's down here to be washed. And I'm like, oh yeah, I stepped in that. That's what I stepped on. That's damp. Lovely. So it's 19th of September, guys. Just a little over 3 months till Christmas already. I can hardly believe it. Basically less than 2 months till we decorate, because for us, if you're watching this from the US, you guys have what is known as Veterans Day, November 11th. We observe the same day, except we call it Remembrance Day here in Canada. And so for me, I had, my dad was almost 50 when I was born, and he was a World War II veteran. And so was my Uncle Jack and my Uncle Walter. The three of them served in World War II together. And there were also some World War II vets from my mom's side of the family. A cousin of my mom's who was killed in the war. And in the First World War, my dad's dad, my paternal grandfather, did not serve, but his two brothers, my great uncles, served. And my paternal grandmother's brother, so my third great uncle, three great uncles basically served in World War I. So there is a rich history in my family going all the way back to World War I. Of multiple veterans from the two world wars. So it's important to me. A lot of people say they don't care one way or the other, and the veterans wouldn't either if you decorate for Christmas before Remembrance Day is over, and maybe they don't. But for me, it's important to wait. I just like to take Halloween is the anniversary of my dad's passing away back in 1983. And so that's always a bit of a somber time for me because I lost him when I was just 14 years old. He's been gone, 38 years. So it's like, it's been a long time. Halloween was always, I was always still able to make it a fun day when my daughter was young because she would take her out trick-or-treating. Plus, one of my jobs is to work at a school as a lunch supervisor. So, of course, seeing all the kids there in their costumes and having fun and excited for the day, that and taking my own daughter trick-or-treating was enough to take my mind off, somewhat take my mind off the significance of the day in my family. But, obviously, my daughter is grown, so she's beyond the trick-or-treating stage and age. And, yeah, I still do work at a school at lunchtime, but, it's not... It's just one of those things that day has... I still like seeing the kids on Halloween, being excited. Last year I wasn't working at a school during the fall, so I didn't see the kids on that day. I was in limbo between my old school and the school I started at in January, around the time of last Halloween. I wasn't really working at either school at that point. I was technically still employed by the old school, but they hadn't communicated whether they still wanted me casual or not at all or whatever. Till I finally just gave in in January and resigned and moved to the new school. But at any rate, so for me, I always book Halloween off from my main job at Sobeys so that I can be home to hand out candy to the kids in the neighborhood, because we do live near several different schools actually are in that area, a middle school as well as a couple of elementary schools. So I like to be available for the kids. And remembering that day too, taking that time to remember my dad, and then heading into Remembrance Day, November 11th. Of course, I'm very much remembering all veterans, but specifically the ones in my family that served in both the World Wars. So for me, even if you ask a bunch of veterans out there and they all say, nope, it's no problem, we don't mind if you decorate sooner, for me, I prefer to wait. And it's a sad time a little bit for me. I mean, I'm proud to remember my uncles and my great uncles and my dad and all those other relatives, and to know that there's that many that fought in both wars in my family, but all of them are gone and I miss them. So for me, if I say that basically as soon as Remembrance Day is over, that basically November 12th or later, as soon as November 12th hits, up goes the Christmas tree, or November 13th, 14th, 15th, but usually no later than the 15th, then to me that gives me something to look forward to. It pulls me out of my funk, because the anniversary of my dad passing away is sad, and remembering them all on Remembrance Day is sad, but it's also just very somber because of the sacrifice of so many. So for me, jumping into Christmas decorating 1, 2, 3, 4 days after Remembrance Day gives me something to look forward to. And it pulls me out of that depressive state a little bit, because it gives me something to look forward to. And then when I decorate, it goes up mid-November and it stays up till mid-January. As I'm a Christmas freak. Love Christmas. Everything about it. So, and it's kind of weird because I managed to marry my first husband, my daughter's dad, who was as anti-Christmas as you get. Well, I mean, he wasn't anti-Christmas. He was all about the biblical Christmas, like the birth of Jesus kind of thing. And so am I. But I still like to do my Santa Claus and my, all my baking and decorating and all the good stuff that comes with it. Him, not so much. So I always jokingly say that I was basically married to the Grinch. Well, maybe jokingly or not, I don't know. But, because he was like, he couldn't justify all the gift giving. I know a lot of people do say it's too commercialized, and I understand that. But he didn't like the idea of even putting a Christmas tree up. Whereas me, well, part of why it goes up in mid-November and stays up to mid-January is because we have so many decorations that it's so much work to put them up that yeah, I'm going to leave them up for 2 months to enjoy them. I'm not putting them up on December 1st and taking them down 2 weeks later or whatever. Like, no way. Too much work to put all that up, so I'm going to enjoy them as long as I can. Because it's not even just the tree. We have a piano, well, which doesn't get used much anymore because my daughter only took 2 years of piano lessons, and that was quite some time ago. But the top of the piano has a bunch of decorations on it, and so does the bookcase that's in the corner, and so does the entertainment unit, and then the Christmas tree. So it's kind of like, I don't know if I can demonstrate this in my hands or not. It's like when you come in the living room. You got on this wall, you got Christmas, you got piano, and then angled in the corner is bookcase, and then this wall, entertainment unit, and right in that corner, right beside the entertainment unit, is a Christmas tree. And then plus we also have a bunch of those window decorative lights, like in different shapes, in the window too. So it's a huge job. And we have some light strings that go up in my daughter's room and in what was the dining room, which has now been taken over by all the birds. Yeah, so there's that. So it's a big job. It isn't even all done in one day. Usually more like a 2-day production. So, and I love it. But along with the decorations that we put on the piano and the bookcase and the entertainment unit, we also have taken strings of garland and woven white lights into those too. So those go along, like along the edge of the piano and the bookcase and stuff. Along the front edge are these garland with the white lights, and they go all along the piano, up and over the bookcase and down, across the top of the entertainment unit and down, and then they plug into this string of lights. Well, the tree is lit, but then that plugs into the same cord where the tree gets plugged into. So it's basically like from piano to bookcase to entertainment unit, right to the tree, and then right all through the window is all the window lights. So there's enough lights, so basically you don't have to turn the lamp on. You can just sit, if you want to watch TV or read a book, you can do it by the light of the Christmas lights, and that's very soothing to me. So, because the Christmas season is so busy that if I do get a minute to just sit and just absorb the lights and just think and just whatever it is I'm doing, I like that. Now, the Christmas season's busy partly. That's partly self-induced on my part because I do a lot of baking. Plus, I do work the 2 jobs, but even just as far as Christmas prep goes, I do a lot of baking. And I do my fire hall delivery on Christmas Eve. That's the one I did in August for my Uncle Jack's birthday. I also do it on Christmas Eve in his memory. And this year I also did it on Easter weekend too. But I do it quite large. It's quite a production. And take some of my homemade jams with me to the fire halls as well. I usually am baking pretty much all of December in preparation for it. Like every time I get home from work, I'm doing a little bit more, something every day. Gotta go hang these pants up. I'll be right back. One of the other things I do for Christmas prep, and I do it pretty much any time now in the fall, is I usually do a group picture of all our birds. And we usually do it right here, right on top of Floyd's cage. Usually I cover his cage with a red blanket because it's Christmassy. And sometimes we'll take some cereal boxes or some egg cartons or something and put them underneath the blanket and have like this. The egg cartons might be at the front so that's elevated a little bit, and maybe at the back the cereal boxes will be elevated a little higher, and then we try like the dickens to get all the birds to land on there, preferably on one of the elevated things, whether it's a cereal box or egg carton or whatever. But and that is not as easy as it sounds. We have 7 budgies and 8 larger birds. This year will probably be different because we adopted Ruby, our African gray parrot, on July 1st, and she dislikes all the birds, all of them. So we already know that, Pepe, our Quaker parrot, he doesn't like this one or that one. So we know that when we're getting these guys in place, that Pepe has to be added in last. And we know he shouldn't be beside so-and-so. Like, he can't be beside the Senegal because they hate each other. Well, he doesn't hate the Senegal hates him, but it's not good. But we know that the Senegal and the ringneck are best friends. And we also know that the two cockatiels cannot be separated. So we know who has to go where, but we also can't position them because they're not people that we can plop down in chairs and say, sit. Like, you'll get 12 out of 13 or 13 out of 14 ready to go, and all of a sudden one will go off on a hair, like on just a while, like, wee, off over here, and then all of a sudden when one goes, they all go. So it literally will take an hour and probably 30 or 40 pictures. I'll do a bunch on my phone, and then usually I'll try and get a couple on my camera too, because that's a better quality. But the phone is instant because you can see, and you can take rapid shot, like one after another, which I can't really do as easily on my camera. And yeah, it takes a good hour and probably a good 30 pictures to maybe get 2 or 3 that are half decent, where everybody's looking the same way and nobody's trying to kill each other. Nobody's in flight taking off. And now adding Ruby into the mix, we may not be able to do that this year. Or if we do, it might be a case that well, Ruby's really wanted to me, so I might have to get my daughter to take the pictures and maybe have her. It might be like we have to get everybody else in place, and then I have to kind of swoop in at the end and just have my arm with Ruby on it off to the side in order to get her in, because I don't dare put her up here with the other birds, because she will probably hurt somebody. Or some of them that are smaller than her are not that smart, and they think they can take her, and they'll charge at her. Like the Senegal, he thinks he can take on anybody. And he's like one of the littlest birds, body-wise. And he'll live to regret that if he tries that with her. So I don't know how this is going to play out. Usually we do a multi-picture card, like a photo Christmas card, but usually one that has 3 or 4 pictures. So we'll probably, usually there's like a picture, like a family picture, and one picture of the rabbit by himself, because I'm not going to make him pose with the birds. Like, that would traumatize the poor guy. And usually a picture of the birds. And if there's a 4th spot, then usually I put like a separate picture of my daughter. I think last year I just put a picture of her horseback riding, because she's an equestrian. She's been taking lessons, and that's something she's passionate about. So okay, that was the 4th picture. Well, if we do it this year, it might have to be, if it's 4 pictures, it might have to be family picture, Floyd, all the birds but Ruby, and number 4, just Ruby. Because I have a feeling there might be some casualties. If I try and force it, as it is, I get the family down here helping me round the birds up, and there's usually some bad words said by somebody. Not usually me, usually somebody else, not naming names, because they get frustrated and they think this is a terrible idea. And I know it's probably not the smartest idea, but to me, it's fun. To nobody else, apparently, but me. But I mean, I like the idea of, like, I'm one of these weirdos that always wants to include the pets on the Christmas cards. Because they're not just animals, they are family. I'm sorry, that is how it is. It's September 19th, I'm just babbling on about Christmas. This is the stuff I do when I'm folding laundry. At least I can do it and make sense that I'm talking to my camera, because otherwise it's like I'm just talking to myself. And mind you, if I'm down here alone, everybody else is upstairs. Nobody really knows I'm talking to myself unless they can hear me, but they might think I'm on the phone. Although I have terrible cell reception in the basement, so I probably wouldn't be on the phone down here. Unless I do Zoom or Facebook Messenger call, because then I'm using Wi-Fi, and then I can actually talk on the phone down here and not get disconnected. Or I could use my landline, but I don't do that very often. I am apparently all over the place in my talking tonight, but anything to keep me sane while I get this load of laundry folded. Oh, the laundry, the gift that keeps on giving. It never ends. Does it? I don't think it does. I was not all that productive today. I did have some help around the house today, which I'm appreciative of. That doesn't always happen, but when it does, I am grateful for it. My energy has been lagging sorely. If you saw my 5 or 6 minute intro to the breakfast casserole video that I uploaded today, I was recapping my schedule for this past week. And I work 2 jobs, and My daughter works the same 2 jobs, so I'm tracking my schedules and hers. And, you know, if I work at the school, generally speaking, most days she works with me there, unless she's working at the store. And when possible, I give her a ride to work at the store whenever it works. So this coming week, tonight is Sunday. I didn't work today, but I had church this morning, and then I had to do my e-learning for work. Apparently I had e-learning courses that were due yesterday I didn't know about. And I was trying to get them done last night after work, but I was really tired and the site was down, so I couldn't do them. Boss called me today and reminded me that they were due yesterday, and I'm like, I know, but the site was down last night. I'm going to jump on and do them right now. But I have to use my daughter's laptop because my computer is from 2010. It's 11 years old and it runs XP, so it is on its last legs. Can't do much on that computer. So, got it done. Took almost an hour. Thankfully I get paid for that. I just have to go into work and write down on the sheet that I'll write down my regular shift for tomorrow and then just say plus 1 hour e-learning at home. And then I get paid for that hour. So I got it done. Didn't get much else done today, to be honest, really. I wanted to pull out the fall decor. I've been talking about that for a week and I just haven't gotten there. My energy is not what it needs to be right now. I almost launched into it tonight, but then there's still a bit more tidy up that needs to be done in the living room. Some things that need to be put away before I can bring things out. So, I'll do that. Not doing it tonight because it's already 10:57. That means I've been talking to you guys for 20 minutes already. And that's okay. So, tomorrow and Tuesday I'm going to work at the school. And I have to work at the store both days too. So, I'm thinking that I have to be there at 2:30 tomorrow. Which means usually I go in about a half hour ahead to check schedules and stuff. So I'll head over at 2 o'clock, but it's only a 5-minute drive, so it's no big deal. And get these guys out of the dryer. I'll be home from the school around 1:05. That means I have time to just eat a quick lunch, pack a lunch, change into my uniform and go. So that gives me about, if I get home at 1:10, leave at 2, I have 50 minutes to have something to eat, change into my uniform, pack a lunch, and get going. Now, I already have made something sort of for my lunch tomorrow to take to work because I just decided tonight to, just like a half hour ago, cooked up a pan of popcorn chicken in the oven. So I can have a few for lunch tomorrow when I get home from the school, and then I can take some with me to work. And I'll probably just cut up some veggies and take them with me with the chicken so I can have something. I only get a 15-minute break. I work 2:30 to 8, so it's a 5.5-hour shift. But I do need to have something. So both Monday and Tuesday I'm working both jobs. I forget what my shift is on Tuesday. I think it's more like 3 o'clock or something. So I think I have a little more, an extra half-hour leeway before I have to head out to job number 2. But tomorrow is also our federal election, where we are voting a new prime minister. So I thought maybe I would get to the polls tomorrow morning before working at the school, but I kind of doubt it. So what I think we'll end up doing, the polls are open until 8:30. And my polling station, like Sobeys where I work, is about 5 minutes by car from here, in bad traffic. Usually in good traffic, like 3 minutes by car. And the polling station is in my neighborhood, so provided I get out right on time at 8 o'clock, I will go. I'll drive over to the community center where I have to vote, because this polling, I'll probably get there for like 8:10. As long as I'm there by 8:10 to 8:15, I should still be in the door on time before the polls close. And cast my vote. My stomach is growling. I don't know why. It really should not be. I just had a snack. And I've got 2 random socks that don't have mates. There's always a sock or 2 that does that. Let me go put these on the dresser in the next room because I will wash and dry and fold, but I'm not putting away the clothes that are not mine. Be right back. So yes, that is the plan for tomorrow, is to work the 2 jobs and pop in and try and get my boat cast before the polls close tomorrow night. My daughter isn't working either job tomorrow. She has the day off from Sobeys tomorrow, but she's not doing the school tomorrow. She'd like to have 1 full day off for a change because she works a lot of weekends at the store. So she works Monday to Friday at the school, and then every single weekend at the store she doesn't get a day off. So she's taking tomorrow for herself, and she'll have to get herself to the polling station at some point tomorrow. So, and now I don't know if it's a clean sock or dirty. That is the mate to this one, so it has to be a clean one. Okay. So then Tuesday, I work both jobs, and I think so does she. And then I'm off Wednesday. Although, Wednesday, one of those days, I think I'm doing the school on Wednesday, and I think she might be too. And then I have a doctor appointment by Zoom, I believe, that afternoon. And I want to say there's something else on Wednesday too. Oh, I was going to go to the prayer meeting at church that night. I don't usually get to the Wednesday evening prayer meetings. I'm often working a lot of weeknights, like into the evening, but this time I have the evening free on Wednesday, so I'm going to go. So, and then I'm working Thursday, but I think I'm 12:30 to 6 on Thursday, so I'm not going to do the school. Friday, I believe, is an in-service day, plus I booked it off work at the store because I have a hair appointment. Time to get these gray roots covered up, and yeah, that will be Friday. So no lunch program Friday, no Sobeys, just hair appointment, and there's something else after the hair appointment, but nothing too desperate or urgent. I can't remember. I have to look at my calendar. I can't remember offhand what it is. Okay, these are all these delicate shirts that are going, blouses that are going in. Just going to put them on a delicate load and let them dry 15 minutes or so, then I'll have to go hang them. Including a couple of t-shirts that are cotton that I just don't want to shrink. I probably will just start a load in the wash, and just because I can, and then I'll throw it in the dryer in the morning. Okay. Didn't realize how many delicates I'd actually accumulated in this load. I just treat my blouses that way. I don't like to risk drying them on high heat. I guess I could do them on medium, but I just don't like to risk shrinking them. I'm struggling with my weight at the best of times. I don't want to risk shrinking clothes that I feel I look decent in. I mean, that is a struggle for me when I see myself back on camera. This midsection of mine drives me nuts, to be honest. But it is what it is. I'm working at it. Just slow going sometimes. This is my new shirt since we got Ruby this summer. I don't know if you can read it. Real ladies only need one shade of gray. An African gray. That's a new shirt, and it's a favorite of mine. So I quite enjoy it. Never was like a big 50 Shades of Grey book person or anything like that, but I just thought it's kind of cute because it's a bird shirt. Okay, get this dryer started. There we go. Thinking that I will throw in this dark load, and I'm going to check the bathroom and see if there's any towels up there that are this burgundy color. Because I think, like this one, I think there's another one up there that might be this color. I would actually throw that in the dark load. So we'll see if there's any more. Okay, that's 2. Actually, there won't be because I already have the second one here of that color. And the third one, there's only 3. The third one I just folded. So let me see what is happening in the hamper, because I know there's some more clothes in the hamper. You know what? I might just put this mat for my daughter's room in there. It is a mess. There's like, I should probably clean that off first. I feel like there's like shells from sunflower seeds on there from the bird food. Don't really want that getting all through my washer. Okay, I'm not going to put that in that load. I'm going to take it outside tomorrow and shake it before I put that through the washer. Because I don't want those sunflower seed shells getting all through the laundry. I believe my daughter brought home her apron from work to wash. I think she has both of her white uniform shirts to wash too, but she doesn't work till Tuesday, so I don't need to worry about those till tomorrow night. Ah yes, here's her apron. Oh, that's the other thing. I brought home my green apron from work. I have a clean one I can take to her, but I have to transfer stuff over from one apron to the other before tomorrow. One more thing to take care of. Whites, they're good. Pants for work for her. I'm glad that there was somebody, not me, because I usually wear, well, I do sometimes wear jeans in pockets, but somebody was not checking pockets before they put stuff in the hamper, and Kleenex were going through these. And you all know what kind of a mess that makes. Okay, but thankfully that hasn't happened recently, so we're good. Yeah, this isn't like a full load, but it's good enough. Make sure there's nothing out here that needs to be added to it. Change artist decided to toss the capris in the load. They're like a charcoal gray, so I'm going to wash those. So I've got a pair of pajama pants on, I've got another pair that could go in the wash. I could set this on a delay cycle, but you know what? If delicates are only in there for like 20 minutes, 15-20 minutes, then by the time this load's done washing, they can go right directly in the dryer, so that's no problem. I think I'll leave it at that. I'm not putting stuff away right now. Got my daughter's basket started. Found one of her missing socks. It was, of course, it was tucked in with this shirt. I thought maybe the wire went. So that is that. I'll be right back here. Beside his log. Okay, so sorry, I mean to babble on. It's probably been what? Let me check the time on this thing. It's probably been like 30-40 minutes just to me babbling. 34 minutes, yeah, I was right. Cool. Okay, I think that's probably enough for tonight. I don't need to drag this out and make it a big multi-day vlog or anything. I think this is just another late night fold laundry with me video, and that's good enough. I'm gonna get this is spinning. It's already weighing the load, getting started. That's drying on low, so about 15 minutes I'll take it out and hang them upstairs for the night, and that'll be good enough. Hopefully it is low dried, and that'll be enough. Maybe before I go to work tomorrow, maybe I'll start the white load in the wash, and then I'll deal with it when I get back tomorrow night from work. We'll see. So, but yeah, tomorrow's going to be both jobs, and then hopefully get to the polling station. Those apples I got from that fruit share group last week, I meant to do something with them today. I just didn't get to them. My energy just is not where it should be. I was struggling a bit this morning. I was tired, but I was also feeling a bit emotional when I went to church this morning. And the sermon was exactly what I needed to hear, and it actually addressed an issue that I've been struggling with this past week. Plus, I am speaking at church next Sunday night, which I think I said at the start of this video. And public speaking, like, have me sing in front of anybody? No problem. Public singing is a whole other thing. Or public speaking is a whole different thing. Especially because I'm telling my own personal story, my history of how I came to faith and everything. And a lot of the stuff I've been through in my life was quite difficult, so it's a difficult story to tell. So just writing out the draft was emotional in and of itself. So I'm looking forward to speaking in a way, but I'm also dreading it because I hate public speaking and because it's my story and it's a personal one. But some stuff I was dealing with this past week, the sermon this morning addressed that issue perfectly, which to me is a God thing because the pastor didn't know I was struggling or what I was dealing with, so I really appreciated that. It was very timely. So I just didn't get to some of those other things today. I didn't get the fall decor out again, and I didn't get those apples done again. But you know what? I can only do what I can do, and the next 2 days I'm going to both jobs pretty much back to back and try to get the polling station tomorrow too. So, and I'm trying to get at least, I feel like I'm way behind on most of my housework. At least if I get a couple loads of laundry done, at least I'm making a small dent and a little bit of progress and getting caught up. So I'm going to end it here because I need to get this done, and it is already 11:12, so I need to get to bed hopefully before midnight. So I hope you guys enjoyed this. Hopefully this little chit chat time, and if you did, please subscribe if you are new, and give it a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and of course leave a comment down below. And we'll see you next time. I hope everybody has had a really good weekend and that you have a great week ahead. We will see you next time, everybody. Have a great week.